Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Korea. In previous episode, we finally got the agrarianism pass, so we're no longer with the traditional, or stuck with the traditionalism, which is actually going to unlock a lot of other options for us to go to. So that's going to be good. We do have a little bit shortage of bureaucracy right now, which we're trying to fix at least partially with another government administration. And yeah, the investment pool is starting to grow quite quickly. So we might be able to get our construction speed total to like maybe even 60, at least 55, I think. But yeah, there's a lot of work to be done for sure. We're trying to pass the homesteading, which is already at the voting stage. No setbacks. And we got a 45% chance of passing it. There's a little bit chance of stalling, but not too high of a chance. So that's honestly going to be pretty good. The innovation, we could probably increase a bit further, actually. But of course, we still got 900,000 debt to pay back, so that's going to take a while. GDP is almost at 14 million. Still got quite a bit of work to do to catch up with Jing, mind you. They've got 87 million, which, to be fair, their GDP has been going down a little bit. Oh, our fleet is a low... Oh, right, yeah, we don't have Admiral in here. Okay, we'll get the Brave one in there. So that does mean a bit more bureaucracy. We do have at least a fleet in there. We've got 166 prestige. Now, to be fair, we've got 20 from the time modifier. That's going to eventually expire. And there we go. Now we've got homesteading. So that is going to be quite nice. Yeah, the landowners are still rather upset, but their power has been dropping steadily. So while the income is still very much reduced, I'm hoping that they will actually... Oh, actually, can we start passing the protectionism now? We can. Sure. It's only 18% chance right now. There's debate, advance, and success. No stalls, and no one's actually opposing that directly. And now we're getting the tax... Oh, yeah, there we go. So even though we're doing construction work at least one building at a time, we are still actually almost making money. If we let the private sector take over the construction for a little while, we can pay off some of the debt, and thus the interest rates will be reduced. And we can probably go from there. But there we go, the homesteading is actually going to help us a lot. And I suppose with the extra administration, that's actually going to allow us to continue construction work. Maybe we'll get another government administration building somewhere. Let's have a look. So, Yongnam. So, South East is going to require a little bit more. Let's get one over there. And what are we researching now? Chemical bleaching. Oh, what are we getting in society? Oh, Central Archive. That's going to be quite useful. Okay, we'll get that one. We're getting the... textile mill and a bit of the food industries, although the food industry is not going to be built anytime soon. So we're now making £3,000 per week, even though we're constructing 1 billion at a time, mind you, but that's going to be very good for our economy. We can pay off some of the debt while doing some work to improve our nation, and while the private sector will also get probably a bit stronger as well. We've got 14.2 million GDP, we've got over 20% literacy rate, which is still not that great. The standard of living is now 9.9 though, so that's brilliant. Got a massive amount of loyalists, not a lot of radicals, and the population is almost 20 million. We could actually go ahead and put another consumption tax, actually. I'll put the luxury furniture in there. Well, actually, what we could do is I'm going to remove these two and put on the transportation tax. Because that's going to be even more. And we are increasing the railway coverage a little bit, I suppose. Maybe not immediately, but sooner or later. We could actually go ahead and increase the construction speed a bit further. Put another construction sector over here in northeast. It's not going to be built very quickly, mind you, but it will be built. Rousing speech captivates the public. We can get 50% chance. Yes, we'll take the 50%. So we can pass the protectionism slightly faster, and thus we can actually start doing trading. Then we'll need to build some more port and such, of course, but that's going to allow us to then start doing some proper trading, import some things that we desperately need in the market, and export things that we have in abundance, like tea is one of the things, I suppose. The silk would be another thing. Alcohol. Glass. Not necessarily too much of dyes. The porcelain is something that will probably be producing a lot more, so that's another thing that we could probably export. But there we go. Things are looking much, much better now. We're below 900,000 in debt. We can probably just keep that going, actually, for the time being. But we'll probably get to 60 total construction speed soon enough. And the private sector, well, right now... it might be actually a little bit limited. Ooh. Oh dear. Autonomy. Can we actually do anything? No, we can't do anything on that. So autonomy is still going downwards, although it will probably start... Well, yeah. It's a little bit tricky. I suppose, again, the entangle... Actually, the entanglement is now a bit less. Because we're providing more and more of the things that we need in our nation domestically. But yeah, the GDP there is still about 6 times at least difference in their GDP, and then we're getting quite a bit from them owning a lot of our constructions, but that's alright. So we're going to get the construction sector over there. Did we get the extra university in here yet? No, we should probably get that. Then we might increase the construction speed even further, but that's at least going to be a good start. We got now extra bureaucracy, not much mind you, but just about enough to make... Oh wow, yeah, that's going to be a lot of money. So yeah, we're still getting almost 7,000 per month now. I suppose we did increase the taxation capacity, so we're still losing about 24,000 unrealized taxes. So there's still a lot of work to do, but it's not the worst. The protectionism, we can pass that one. Oh, voice of the nation. To find you to get 20 prestige, I'll take it. I will definitely take that, because that might actually reduce... Well, actually, let's have a look. Does that have an impact? Not really. They still got way more prestige than we do. Hey, law advancement. Oh, right, we get 15% chance extra. Okay, so it's a fairly high chance that we'll get the protectionism going forward. And now with the extra construction speed, there's going to be a little bit extra for... If we just do one building at a time, the private sector, we can still hold on to that. We might eventually, like not immediately, but sometime in the not too distant future, we might increase the construction speed a little bit further. But we'll just work on one government building at a time and let the private sector do all its work that it needs to do. Logging camps are getting pretty good work done, so that's good. And the chemical bleaching will be done, so that's going to allow us to get a lot more paper, actually. If you look at the paper, yeah, we've got short of almost 900 currently. But with that, we can get that reduced by, I don't know, a few hundred at least. And thus the cost for our government goods is going to be reduced quite drastically, actually. We do still have a little bit extra authority as well, so enactment time is slightly reduced. What's the... Oh, foreign queue. Okay, so there's a logging camp and cotton plantation being built. We've got plenty of logging camps. We might want to also go ahead and get a few more rice farms, perhaps. Or improve the rice farms in general. If we go with a single crop, that means that we don't get the sugar in there, but yeah, that could be worthwhile. Campaign financing. Yeah, we'll finance the agrarian party again. Looks like there might not be... Oh, this will just 5 million. And there's the chemical bleaching. Alright, let's go ahead and change at least a paper mill. That's going to be very much needed. That's going to require a bit more dyes, which there are plenty in the market. That's going to provide a lot more stuff there. And then the glassworks, we could go for bone china. That will reduce the amount of glass available in the market, though. But I suppose total there should still be plenty. We've got almost 15 million GDP now. So that's actually pretty good. Okay, now it dropped a decent bit there, but we are still getting some more money while we are doing some government construction work. And we're paying off the debt. We still got over 700,000 though, but it's going down relatively quickly. The investment pool is not growing that much currently. So we probably need to keep this sort of balance going with the construction. Did we get the railway? We did get the railway down here in the southeast. We could get one in the northeast now. Provide a lot more cheaper, or a bit more cheaper stuff there for the construction. And the investment pool, yeah, is still almost 2 million. So that's not too shabby. Low progressive drafting, there we go. So protectionism will probably happen soon enough. So after that one, we might actually just go ahead and build some more ports to get more convoys available. So once we can do trading, we will do a lot of trading. We might also need a bit more bureaucracy for that, to be fair. So where do we need the bureaucracy most? Jiangzhou is going to be needing the most. I suppose that's going to get us to 10 bureaucracy. Build all government administrations at that point. That could be useful. Oh, we got an exile. Actually, we haven't employed that yet. What do we have? Do we have anything for projections, actually? No. We can't invite anyone. Never mind then. So we got the wealth voting. We do still have 5 million voters, though, which is actually a surprisingly high number. Wasn't expecting that many. Okay, well... Oh, Whistle Stop Tour? Sure. Okay, so Conservative Party is going to get a little bit more votes because of that, but... It's alright, they're still going to get about half the votes, I guess, but that is going to be less than what they were getting before. So that's still going to be beneficial for us, I reckon. Private sector is building another iron mine, then another paper mill, which is actually, how is the paper situation now? There's still shortages about 800, so actually the increase that we got may not have been that massive then. How many? We got 6 of them, and that increase was 30, so 180, yeah, it wasn't that massive. But it did still help. But we definitely passed a lot of good laws in the past couple episodes. Right, so field work. Oh, right. What's the production mechanical workshop? Oh, brilliant. That's going to be very much needed. How's the innovation? Are we at? Yes, we're currently at the cap. We could have up to 83.2. So that's all right. And we did get the extra university over here as well. So that's going to allow us to get more qualifications going. We might want to actually. Oh, there we go. Standard of living is increasing to 10. Yeah, 10.2 on average. And there we go. Law approaches voting. So just one more successful attempt there. We'll probably keep this current government still actually going. It's got a decent legitimacy. It's not the best, but it's okay. We've got plenty of loyalists. We've got 2.6 million loyalists, actually. A little bit radical, but not too many. The population is still growing. The literacy rate will probably start improving as well, slowly but surely. And now that we don't have traditionalism, we might be able to pass some education laws, actually. Oh, great, invest into expanding some stuff in here. So how much are they building currently? Only a cotton plantation. Okay, so that's probably they just started building. The railway is still going to take a little while in Quambuk. Another, 11 weeks now. Oh, another steel mill is being built in the northwest. Okay, that's going to be brilliant. We do need more steel, and we've still got the... have 4 levels of steel mill, or level 4 steel mill in a state. So that's going to be brilliant. It's going to take a little while, I reckon, but that's going to be fine. And investment port is still growing. The amount of credit that we have is down to 600,000, or credit that we've used, rather, is down to 600,000, so that's going to be good. And we're paying actually only 3.3 thousand pounds per week on interest, but we're now paying over 20,000 pounds per week to China. And how's their GDP? It's now 91.5 million, so that's definitely started going up. It's still about 6 times what we have, so, you know, the multiplier is definitely reducing, but the actual distance is probably increasing a bit further. But of course, they've got a lot larger economy and all that, so it's going to be tricky to catch up with them. But not impossible. Not impossible. I think at this point, we might go ahead and build up another construction sector over here in Northwest. Make that construction site be a bit more efficient. It might take a little while before we get that. Well, I suppose the railway is going to be done in 3 weeks. After that, we'll get the construction sector, and then we'll probably start building some ports. Like one port at a time. And then the private sector is going to have basically 35 points. Oh, grassroots support for the law. Cool. Rule 4 gets a bit more popularity as well with that. And fieldworks will be done very shortly. I do wonder what's going to spread after that. It's going to be one of these 4. Rifling could be actually quite nice. Oh, there we go. There's the fieldworks. Now, let's have a look. What is it spreading to? Next. I mean, I suppose we might not get the boost anymore. I think that's probably expired. Oh, rifling. Well, there we go. Speak of the devil. And he shall appear. Oh, taxation capacity increase. Yeah, that's going to be really nice. That's also unlocked in the standardized filing system for the government administration. So we might not actually need to build too much more government administration buildings currently. Well, let's go ahead and start building some more ports. We'll build one in our capital at least. That'll be quite handy. And the private sector will be getting a bit more construction as well. There's another logging camp done. Another, oh, steel mill, another motor industry. That sounds like a plan. So there we go. We're getting still £7,000 per week. We've got still fairly high taxes, mind you. But of course, eventually we'll be able to drop those taxes a little bit. Although not yet. But the central archives will be done soon. That's going to fix some of the taxation issue. It's me or them? Leader of the Rule Folk has had enough of compromising with his coalition partners. He has demanded that either his collaborators follow his orders, or Rule Folk will never approve of their changes. We can probably afford losing 1 point of the Rule Folk. They'll lose a little bit of popularity as well. But that's alright. So we've got some of the influence. Right, I do wonder. So our liberty society is still pretty bad. We can't demand anything. Oh, there we go. They are no longer boosting our legitimacy, which actually allows us to get a bit higher. We can request the market control again, which they would not support. There we go. And if we request regime support, they would not accept. We get even more stuff over there. That might hinder our legitimate... Oh, actually, no. Aha, there we go. So now we actually... Cold relations. Our liberty side is actually growing. Oh, brilliant. Damage relations broken because it can't go any further down. Alright then. Protection is probably going to be passed now. Let's see, we might get that done, then we can start doing some actual trading. So here we are. So we're getting some tariffs. Oh, we need a lot more. Okay, we might need to go ahead and drop some of the consumption taxes. Although I don't know if I want to lose up all of those. So what else do we have using up? Actually, we can stop bolstering the industrialists now. There we go, so we got a little bit extra. I don't want to remove the state. Oh, petition government completed. There we go. So now we're losing a little bit of money, but it's not too bad. And let's actually go ahead and have a look at the trade routes. Could we get some opium imports somewhere? Or maybe some paper imports? Or export some... You know what? Empire of Japan, they would probably buy some alcohol. I don't know how many convoys we'll have available. We'll start that one. And then we'll try to get more convoys. It's probably going to take a little while to build up the level of the trade, but that's probably going to be taking more and more convoys if they are available. I might be able to trade with the Russians, actually. Let's see. Is there any good to the French market? Italian market? That would not require... Okay. Interestingly enough. What about if we export some tea to the Russian market? They would still require a little bit convoys. We could sell quite a bit, actually. Sure. Maybe that'll help. Now we're losing a lot of money. Is there a reason for that? Construction cost, or construction goods cost is pretty high, admittedly. Investment pool is slowly going down. I suppose we could just let the things simmer for a little while. And not do any more government construction for a brief moment. While we fix some of the issues. So how much is there still... oh, unrealized taxes is pretty high. Okay, so that's gone up. Well, I suppose we will be getting the central archive soon enough. Oh, there we go. Now that we're not building... Oh! Oh! Jing is having a revolution. Okay, so how is their GDP right now? It's 30.8. Oh, that's going to be bad for our economy. It's going to be really bad for our economy, actually. Yeah, there's no artillery. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build up a artillery foundry in our northeastern state. That's going to be a little bit costly, but that's going to allow us to make sure that we've got artillery provider in our own nation, so we don't need to worry about that one too much. And let's see, the steel mills. That's underway, so that's... oh, right, the private sector is... Oh, it's going to build another... Oh. Italy sides with the aristocrat revolt. Oh. Okay. Japan sides with Great Qing. Okay, so I'm going to try to stay out of this. The market is probably going to be suffering quite a bit because of this. There's no coffee produced, no artillery, well, not enough artillery. Fertilizers in pretty high demand, clothing is pretty high demand, so there's many things that we now need that we are very much dependent on the sort of aristocrat revolt territories in here. But that might actually allow us to... Oh yeah, the Liberty Desire is growing quite quickly here. Now, to be fair, Russia is supposed to give us a hand when we declare our independence. I don't know how much anyone else would be. But we could request to support independence. No, they would not accept that yet. None of these. So we'll probably just have to wait a little bit longer on that for sure. But yeah, we'll get the artillery foundry. We will need to sell that, of course. How much are we paying for the... Okay, so it's... still at £14,000. So even if we didn't do any construction work right now, we would be losing money. GDP definitely did drop, or take a bit of a hit from there. We were at 15.3 million or so. Not that massive a dip in the end. And if we can get the artillery foundry back in order, that will actually, that will actually reduce the costs quite a bit. But yeah, I suspect that the Great Qing might actually lose this war. Especially if the Italians are supporting the revolt. It's a bit of a surprise, to be fair, but sure. Not going to interfere. Right, so it's the... Yeah, Qing is still constructing more things. Oh, even a lead mine, actually. But yeah, they're building a lot of stuff in our nation. Building the artillery foundry in the next 11 weeks or so. We'll also get a steel mill about at the same time. And then the motor industries will be getting a little bit more stuff. We are having a bit of a bureaucracy issue. At least the central archives are going to be down very shortly, so that's actually fixed the issues for the most part. Industrialists are now powerful. The landowners know so much. There's the taxation capacity. And let's go ahead and switch the buildings. Is that in... That's not in development, is it? No, actually it is. Okay, so yeah, that's going to increase the paper consumption a lot. It's also going to increase the amount of bureaucracy that we have quite drastically. And there's the central archives immediately completed. We can get 5% more bureaucracy, or we can get 4,000 points for the identification documents. I think we want to speed up the research. So we'll do that one. We're still losing a bit of money, although, well, I suppose it's the construction cost. So after that is done, we can actually let the private sector take over the construction for a little while. We've got over 2 million in the investment pool, and there's a lot of buildings that we need to let them complete. So that's going to be totally fine. How much are we getting from tariffs? About 3,000. Alright, then let's just double check our trade routes. Oh, so the Russia trade route is not worthwhile right now. We'll drop that one. Is there any other good trade routes that we could perhaps do? Maybe import some paper from... You know what? We'll import some paper from France. That's going to reduce some of the costs that we have to contend with. And this artillery foundry will be done very, very shortly. In a matter of 3 weeks. Is there any taxation laws that we could maybe pass now? There's the per capita taxation. The landowners would oppose that, but they would not radicalize them. The trade unions would also oppose that, but there is a lot of support for it. That would also increase our tax income by 13,000, which might be enough to lower the taxes a little bit further. But here's the thing, if the Chinese... Oh, we can declare another interest. Right, let me go ahead and declare an interest in... Well, we've got one in Manchuria. We'd probably put one in Indochina. It might not be perfect location for it, but I think that's going to be... If we can get independence, or at least our own... Oh, Great Britain owns... Oh, didn't realize they've taken all of Vietnam. There's still Cambodia in there, but yeah, Dynamo was basically just completely destroyed. Actually, it's Japan. No, they've got their own market still. Raising concerns. Industrialists are pretty happy, so if we get Intelligentsia a little bit happier, I'm okay with that. So we got level 2 steel mill up here. That is, well, it's got a decent profit actually. And now that we're not building anything, we can pay off some of the loans. And the private sector is, well, it's going down, or the investment pool is going down by 10,000 per week. Currently, we've got 15 million GDP. Actually, oh, right. If we have a look at the... Yeah, they don't have that much more prestige than we do. The economic dependence is not that high. And the liberty desire is, okay, so it's reducing that increase a tiny bit. But there is a good... Oh, right, there we go. Attitude improved for a lot of nations. Ah, well, does that mean that we can maybe go ahead and request independence support? Not really, not yet at least. I'm going to go ahead and... Oh, sign improving relations. I'm going to improve relations with France, I think. If I can. I don't see it on the list, so I guess I can't. Well, never mind that. I'll still making a little bit of money. We can pay off some of the debts. Hopefully we can get the taxation law improved. If we've got plenty of bureaucracy, we could probably go ahead and change some of the institutions like the Home Affairs. And we could get conscription rate increased. That could be useful. At the same time, we might be able to get some of the education stuff like the... Oh, there's no support over there. What about the health system? No support in here? That wouldn't really work then. But how is the war going? There's fighting. Oh, and the aristocrat revolt is actually defeating the Japanese troops over here while attacking. Hey, low progress of drafting. There we go. So the law change will probably succeed. Getting the ammunition. Oh, right, we got the artillery foundry. Let's go ahead and privatize that. Get a little bit more money out of it. But it is also probably making a fairly good profit currently. But we can go for the smooth bores to improve the production even further. It's me or them. What a ridiculous thing to say. There's still £700,000 in the debt that we still need to pay back. But it's we're keeping the debt relatively small, so we don't need to pay too much for the interest rates and all that. We are still paying a lot of money to Tring for the diplomatic pact, but they got less than twice our GDP currently. So I'm guessing the aristocrat revolt probably got most of it then. Although, I suppose, yeah, they got 67 million there. So, yeah, that's weakening them quite a bit. What do we have input shortage on? Okay, I don't think we have any input shortage there currently. There was something that was having input shortages, but I suppose if we have a look at the market, we can double check. So the fertilizer is having some issues. We'll definitely need some ammunition production, but there's... Oh, we're only buying those right now. Insufficient agriculture. Yeah, we could probably follow their advice. So I'm actually thinking maybe I should go ahead and... We've got the fertilizer plant in here. Well, maybe another level for that? Or I could start building the... Oh, explosive factory. Right, that's fertilizer and sulfur. We do have sulfur mines in this state. That wouldn't be too bad. But I'm going to go ahead and build the explosive factory. We'll need that anyway. It's going to incur a little bit more debt in the meanwhile, but I think that is actually going to allow us to then... Like, we'll of course sell that once we have it built. We'll get some of the money back. It's probably not enough, actually. It's the artillery foundry that's still owned by us. So there's a bit more work to be done there. But the factory is going to be done in the next 30 weeks. That's not going to be too bad. The private sector has still got a decent bit of construction work being done. So the Arts Academy is now completed. We'll get a railway in Jiangxia. Some private railways. They're getting a fishing wharf, silk plantation, and there's still a lead mine being built by the Chinese. Well, so all the private sector from them. Oh, and yeah, looks like the Aristocrat Revolt is defeating the Chinese in the south. So sooner or later they'll probably... Oh, there we go. Law advancement. So that's now 48% chance of passing the law. Well, getting to the next stage. To the third stage, that is. So yeah, I'm guessing we got a bit of a shortage of... Well, we got short of manor walls. We do have a short of luxury furniture. So at this point, I might go ahead and increase the precision tools in here. It might not be... Well, you know what? No, we're not going to do that. We'll just need to get another furniture manufacturer, which we are already building in our capital. So that's honestly going to be fixing itself, more or less. Well, partially anyway. But I suppose that is definitely reducing the dependence of us from the Jing market. Which does mean that, well, the Liberty Desire is okay. We do need to get more prestige, which I suppose if we were to increase our army size a little bit, which we will need to do, we might be able to get the prestige levels a bit more in our favor. We do need to also get a military shipyard, I reckon. We'll wait for the explosive factory to be done first, then we'll probably get the military shipyard built probably by the state, but then we'll of course sell that or privatize that. Is the... Oh, innovation is already... No, it can still go a bit higher than that, actually. So what are we getting in society now? Oh, psychiatry. Bureaucracy costs, bureaucracy population cost multipliers reduce a little bit. That'll be quite handy. Now we're getting the mechanized workshop, which is actually going to allow us to produce even more furniture. And after that is going to be, well, it's going to be fractional distillation then. There's no other options there. We're not getting any dyes right now. Okay, but let's go ahead and import some dyes. Where can we get a decent chunk? A British market will do. I have it. Oh, right, we do have some infrastructure issues over here in Jiangxia. So, yeah, that's going to be fixed by the railway. Police brutality. We're going to afford reducing the institution back down a little bit. We'll increase that to level 3. We could maybe get the home affairs upgrade as well. By a little bit. Now, it's the debt. Yeah, we're still at 700,000. Did we manage to actually sell off the artillery foundry yet? We did. Oh, it's the Chinese purchased that. Well, that doesn't surprise me. But we did get the money out of it, so I suppose that's fine. We're a little bit low on convoy, so that's another thing that we'll probably need to start building up a bit further. How's the... Right, mechanized workshops. That's not going to take too long. A discord within the landowners. Sure, we'll take another 15% chance. And the landowners are actually less than 15% total clout now. That's actually really good. So they shouldn't really cause issues. Oh, what's this then? Cambodia. Oh, Britain is just expanding. Alright then. I'm gonna declare neutrality on that. None of my business. And yeah, it looks like the aristocrats are definitely winning the war against Jing. Which, of course, once they retake the areas, they will get a bit stronger in their economy. That's also going to increase our GDP a little bit, of course. Because right now, we are still relying a decent chunk of the Chinese stuff. And now that the aristocrats are occupying everything, our market is losing access to those resources. And well, the big thing is, of course, the dyes, but also luxury furniture seems to have some issues. And manor wars, there's apparently no production whatsoever for manor wars. Of course, eventually we'll get some ironclads and all that, but right now the manor walls are still what we need for our fleet. We have gotten our prestige up to 190 though. If we have a look at the... Oh yeah, it's below the threshold, so we're getting 0.3 Liberty Desire per week. And that's going to be pretty good actually. If we can get it to... Okay, so there's going to be a little bit more radicals from discrimination as standard of living decreases, but that will then allow us to increase autonomy or demand independence, but we need to get the Liberty Desire to be pretty high to actually demand that properly. But we can also declare another interest. I'm going to go ahead and put that into maybe somewhere in Europe. We could get a little bit more trade going. Put Rhine as a location. That could actually work quite nicely in our favor. The explosive factory is almost completed. That's, yeah, 2 more weeks and we'll have that one. And then we'll need to sell that, of course, but that's going to allow us to actually house the investment pool. It is still almost 2 million, so that's not too shabby. There we go, that's the explosive factory. Right, let me just double check the settings in here. We can go for the ammonia soda process. A bit more fertilizer and the things there, but that should be fine. We can also start selling that already. And then I think we are going to go ahead and build the military shipyard. And looks like our trade importing is active. Ah, okay. Importing the dyes. Let's go ahead and import that with the British Anglo-Indian market. We could import quite a bit from there. Also, is that a revolt going on? British Anglo-Indian market. So is this one... No, that's just British Raj. Okay. They got their own market then, did they? I guess so. So I guess that's what happens when you give control of a market to your subject. I can't demand a release of my market yet, but that's fine. But I do see that we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.